Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at the BCD or wing inflator, and I will tell you everything you need to know about it, so let's dive right in. A lot of divers use an inflator on every single dive without really thinking about how it works internally. So in this video, I will explain how it works, what problems you might encounter, why maintenance is so important, what you can safely do yourself, and what to look for when choosing a BCD or wing. Before we talk about how it works, let's quickly go over the main components of a BCD inflator. You have the inflator body, the inflate button, the deflate button, the low pressure hose connection, the Schrader valve, and the internal valve mechanism, and the corrugated hose which connects to the bladder itself. You don't need to memorize every part, just understand how they work together. A BCD inflator controls low pressure air from your first stage and allows you to both add and release gas from your buoyancy device. Air from your first stage travels through the low pressure hose and stops at the Schrader valve. The Schrader valve acts like a one-way valve and prevents air from escaping when the hose is disconnected. As soon as you release the inflate button, the O-rings and the mechanism move back to their original position, closing the opening and stopping the airflow. The deflate button works basically the same. Inside the inflator body, an O-ring seals the opening, preventing air from escaping. When you press the deflate button, the O-ring moves away from its seat, creating an opening for the air inside the bladder to escape through the inflator and into the water. As soon as you release the button, the O-ring seals against the seat again and the airflow stops. By raising the inflator hose above the rest of the wing or BCD, expanding air can reach the highest point and escape efficiently. This allows you to maintain a neutral buoyancy throughout the dive. Inflators are very reliable, but like any piece of dive equipment, they can have issues. One of the most common problems is a sticking inflate button. Salt, sand, or a worn seat can prevent the valve from closing properly and can cause the BCD to slowly inflate by itself. Another common problem is restricted airflow, caused by contamination inside the inflator. The Schrader valve itself can also leak or stick, and worn O-rings or damaged seals may cause slow leaks. And over time, dirt, bacteria and salt crystals can build up inside the inflator and corrugated hose. Fortunately, most of these problems develop gradually and can be prevented with proper maintenance. One of the most common failures to recognize is the self-inflating BCD. If your BCD starts inflating uncontrollably, the first thing you should do is disconnect the low pressure inflator. You can then dump the excess gas using the deflate button or one of the dump valves on your BCD or wing. If necessary, you can establish neutral buoyancy and end the dive safely. Knowing how to disconnect your inflator hose quickly is an essential skill that every diver should practice. Your inflator is directly connected to your buoyancy control, so maintenance is extremely important. After every dive, thoroughly rinse the inflator with fresh water. Press both buttons separately while rinsing to flush the internal parts and remove salt, sand or dirt. Allow everything to dry properly before storage. Most manufacturers recommend servicing the inflator every 1 to 2 years, depending on how often you dive and the environment you dive in. If you notice sticky buttons, leaks or a self-inflating BCD, I can recommend that you service it immediately. A well-maintained inflator is reliable. A neglected inflator can become a serious problem in the water. There are several things every diver can safely do themselves. Rinse the inflator thoroughly after every dive. Inspect the buttons and make sure they move smoothly. Check the low pressure hose connection and listen for leaks. And if you disconnect the inflator hose, inspect the Schrader valve for contamination. Many divers can safely replace the inflator hose or Schrader valve inside the hose. Internal servicing of the inflator body itself should always be done by a trained technician. There are several types of inflator systems available. Most recreational BCDs use a traditional power inflator. Backplane and wing systems often use a simpler and more streamlined inflator design, but the basic principle remains the same. Some systems combine the inflator and alternate second stage into a single unit, and while these systems work well, they add complexity and require specific training. No matter which system you use, reliability, ease of operation and serviceability should always be your main priorities. For most divers, a simple and reliable inflator is all that they need. BCD inflators might seem like a simple piece of equipment, but it plays a critical role in your buoyancy and overall control in the water. Understanding how it works and how to maintain it will make you a safer and more confident diver. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments what piece of dive gear you'd like me to break down next. Don't forget to check out the links in my description for my other social media pages. And as always, dive safe, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.